If you want to be my friend, you had better go and get a pen. And maybe we can keep in touch. Did in the old days, it was so long ago.
You hit it.
Wish you well. I don't have the lungs.
Sign your pen.
I don't have the lungs. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Dan Van Kirk and Rory Van Scovel on Bed Pals, the podcast.
What if we got James Taylor? And I'm sure he'd be a fine...
I can get him.
I'm sure he'd be a fine guest, but just to have him for the opening...
And then have him leave.
I'd be fine with me. I mean, it wouldn't be fine with me, but like
it would be a waste.
My cup would be full.
We would feel like we didn't eat all of the buffalo. We didn't use every element of the buffalo.
Yes or no?
All right, James, get out of here.
And I will text her out of context. Yes or no? My two pen pals in this room.
Yeah.
Do you think Amy Mann has James Taylor's phone number in her phone?
All right, that's how we're gonna get him.
I know.
Amy.
You do, listen.
I do, yeah.
Amy, who do you have? Amy, if you listen to this show, and I think you do, maybe you don't,
too.
But if you do, throw us some names. Give us some famous people. Just do it.
Also, come back yourself.
We're fun.
Come back yourself.
Oh, so you should come back.
You have good wisps.
We're fun.
You have really good wisp going today.
What does that mean?
You know the thing.
Product.
Remember with college
Product.
coming out the side?
Oh,
Wisp?
yeah.
You kind of have some of that on top.
Oh, top wisp.
It looks good.
Top wisp.
You look nonchalant, like ready to go.
Thank you.
Isn't that the key with hair? Right?
The key with hair is to either look like you cared a lot or you don't care. But
or
either way, you care.
If you're
a lot
the worst
both
type
ways.
of person, it looks like you mean fucking business.
Oh yeah.
Anybody whose hair identity is I don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Settle.
Isn't it so funny to like see someone with very slicked back, villainous hair? And I'm not gonna say it looks bad, but it's just the only characters have always been villains or like just gross, like Wall Street. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What's the hero with slicked back hair?
Yeah.
Is there a hero with slicked back hair?
I mean, even Christopher Reeve, they made it have to be a curl just to adjust it a little bit.
Yeah.
Slick.
Trinity, I guess, but I feel like we're more talking about men.
Yeah.
A woman, then you're like, oh, badass. She's in a movie.
I mean, she also wore just leather and did karate.
Remember
Not
that?
quite Wall Street.
Do you remember that opening? Were you in the theater?
Yes. I went by myself.
And the cops all come running in, and she does this.
I saw The Matrix.
You saw it by yourself?
I saw The Matrix in theaters by myself.
I saw it with Roy Marks, I think.
I went down to Central Florida to take a look at the campus and meet the coach to see if that's where I was going to go to school, and went over to watch a movie. Well, my stepmom took a nap, and I went over to watch a movie, and it was The Matrix. And I was just like, what am I at? Like, loved it.
Whoa.
Loved it so much.
I love
So
that.
fun. Doing stuff by yourself is fun.
That's the movie I've seen the most in theaters.
Okay.
Was The Matrix. I think I saw it 6 times in the theaters.
I think I saw Star Wars New Hope, the re-release. I think I saw that too many times, to be honest.
If you had to guess.
5?
5, yeah.
4 or 5.
I also was working at a movie.
It's too much.
I was working in a movie theater when Titanic came out.
Yeah.
And so I used to know that movie by the score. I could just hear it and know where they were at.
Yeah.
But that doesn't count to me as
I loved Titanic.
I loved it too.
1998, 11th grade.
It's
no
a
shame.
commitment to watch it, obviously.
No shame at all. Loved Titanic.
You shouldn't at all.
Cried.
You were only like 4 when it came out.
Cried all the time. That's right. I was 4.
We just keep messing with time.
I was 4 in 98. Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to take a quick break, folks. And when we get back, you know where we're going. Let's go to the letter.
Oh!
Yes! Go!
That was like a hacky sack.
Do you think the first time that announcer went, go, and held it, everyone around was like,
And he was like,
and they were like, keep going. He was, oh!
or do you think he was like, after the next goal?
Yeah.
yell until they're done celebrating.
Watch.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, no way. Watch.
Did you hacky sack? You had to. Soccer. It was not that far of elite casual.
Yeah, but I think I hated it because of soccer. I'm like, what am I doing? There's no, you know what I mean? There's no.
I loved it.
Look at this place we've littered the studio with liquid death.
Yeah, there's a parable in there.
There is. All right, here we go.
Go.
Good day, Pentleman. That's new.
That's new.
I like that. Pentleman. That could be merch.
Not the same.
Long-time New Zealand listener, second-time writer. I wrote in about Stern as yet unresolved.
David? The NBA commissioner?
I think so. Previous, before Silver.
Okay.
I have a 2.5-year-old son, Bragg, and they said Bragg, and although I feel I'm relatively restrained with this sort of thing, at current time of writing, I have about 350 photos of him on my phone. That's not counting my wife, his grandparents / other family, photos taken by his daycare, or anyone else who has snapped a shot of our beautiful little stinker. I'm 34 years old, also Bragg, and reckon that 350 has got to be close to as many photos of me that exist, mostly in physical form due to my age. Similarly, my next question is this. Do you think there are more photos of you guys than all of your male ancestors combined? I ask only about the males, as I figured they're historically less likely to have as many photos of them than their presumably more glamorous better halves. Therefore, a more interesting number. I guess it's different for you two as performers and actors, but for the average man of a similar age, do you think that's true or no? A penny for your thoughts. Your exotic foreign pen pal, Vince.
Ding,
Bing,
ding,
blong, blong.
ding.
Has anyone ever said a penny for your thoughts?
No.
Because
this guy
that is so
open
perfect.
And closed.
Pentleman
With
a penny for your thoughts. This is a merch machine. Maybe it's New Zealand.
Should invest in one of those nerd-ass fucking penny flatteners.
And it comes out with a picture of us.
And on the other side, it says a penny for your thoughts.
And when you do it, it's just like...
Yeah. And we have a dime for your dreams and a quarter for a peek at your schemes. Waiting for Guffman. You remember that song?
So what I want to say,
what if you are joking, but also you never want to admit you haven't seen Waiting for Guffman?
Yeah.
People.
I always turn it. I always try to avoid the question because it's such an iconic movie.
Seminal.
I want to say without a doubt, 100%, yes, there are more pictures of us than all of our ancestors combined.
I would say there's more pictures than all of my living relatives. And I mean, I will go as far as to the tree of Bob and Rosemary.
I mean, I'm talking like the male or female, just in terms of ancestors, not even necessarily alive, but sure, some of them. But and that is specifically based on the fact that even without our careers, where there's maybe more photos to be had, we just live in a culture of taking photos now.
If you had to guess, up until, let's just call it 1920, the average person had 3 photos of them tops ever taken in their life.
If
that's what I'm saying,
I would say
that'd
most people were at 0.
Yes,
and maybe I'm crazy because I don't really know history. All I know is that the Titanic, as previously mentioned, was in 1912.
It's true.
Remember?
December 17th.
I got that right.
December 17th.
December 17th, 1912. There is, without a doubt, more pictures. There are more pictures of my daughter in the first year of her life than all of her ancestors combined.
Not you.
No, but I mean like dead.
Yeah.
So I mean from now my parents generationally, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and on and on and on and on. My daughter has probably exceeded them maybe in the very first year of being alive.
I could be,
because taking a photo is now nothing.
Nothing. That's what I say. Even if you were born in 1950, by 1975, do you count yearbooks?
How many?
If you don't count school photos,
how many pictures in 25 years?
I bet they would probably maybe have 50.
That's interesting because there's technology at that time.
Well, family photos.
This is a great question. Family photos in yearbook, but there is technology at the time. There are like go buy a camera, go get pictures taken. Like that's happening.
Yes.
Like my grandfather had video of my mom when she was young.
But selfies aren't anywhere near a thing. So even if other people have to take photos of you. You're not taking photos of yourself either, which is a huge thing in what we're doing. And so, and someone has to usually be the person with the camera.
Now you've made it very interesting, because if you eliminate selfies, like, where do you think you stand? I still think it's definitely more than our ancestors, because it's just been pictures our whole life.
We're not counting like
as soon as 2008.
ATMs. Are you counting ATMs?
What do you mean?
They take a photo of you every time you're there?
No.
In
I
Walmart,
mean social, like fun. Social, I mean like school, family photo, portraits, Christmas cards.
Right. Christmas Day.
Every Christmas Day. Christmas Day alone
is at least 12.
Is more than a certain number of ancestors.
Of Christmas.
That one day is a certain number of ancestors.
I am safe in saying that I wouldn't believe before 1920, like I said, the most photos any person would have of them in their lifetime is 3. I do think, though, culturally...
When did photos start?
Well, we know in Back to the Future 3 they were doing them.
That's right.
So, and that's the old draping.
And that movie was made in 1980...
That was good.
1988.
Do they go 100 years? Is that 1885? Do they go 100 years? So that's 1885?
They go, I think so.
It feels right, doesn't it?
Because it goes 85 to 55. Does he go 100? 1855.
That's
right?
What I'm thinking. That's it.
Or 18. It's 1855 or 1885. It's all in that.
Yeah. So I would get... But it would be a thing for families to still get a photograph. So that's what I'm saying. The average person probably had 1.
Yeah.
And then I would think most you would have is 3. Like if they were like, all right, let's get a picture of everybody who built the railroad.
Yeah.
Right? Not you marginalized people. We don't even use that word yet.
Yeah.
But like, let's get a picture of the gang.
Yeah.
Wanted picture.
Yeah.
Which was sometimes just a drawing. Most of the time it was probably a drawing.
Definitely.
Had to be a drawing.
Definitely in cartoons. Drawing every time.
All of it.
Yeah. Even the reality.
Lissa has information. I could feel it.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the first photograph was taken in 1826.
Interesting.
Okay, so yeah, by 1920 it's been around for 100 years. But also the first flat screen, we weren't getting those.
Yeah.
Right?
And confirmed that Back to the Future Part 3 is 1885.
Okay.
Yep.
But I also think that I took the most pictures of myself on disposable cameras when I was younger.
Right.
Like, I think it's so easy to take pictures now.
Yeah.
Fewer pictures exist of me now than they did during the time when you had to physically like obtain a camera to take a picture.
Especially the disposable ones. And then you just submit the disposable
it says like,
all that film.
You can't really bar the fact that we are actors or like comedian, like stage performers.
Yeah.
Because that is our life. And there were people that were actors and stage performers that didn't have many photos taking of them. So it all grades to the same level.
I think
what was your guess from 55 to 75 or 50 to 75?
I don't know. I really don't know, because it's obviously film. But I'm wondering, like, what is the accessibility of film? What is the price of film? How many people just have a camera? Because I don't think it was just a thing to go around with a camera. I mean, I was just thinking about
this. Even with the camera, what did you have? 12 shots?
But think about,
you had 16 shots?
I think it also depends where you're at in the world, because right now we take pictures all the time of everything. You look around, someone's taking a picture all the time.
I take pictures of things to remember things. I did it today.
Remember when we were kids in the 80s, that was like a joke people made about Japanese people, because they took pictures. It was like, they're always taking pictures. It
was a trope in 80s movies and stuff.
Yes, that's how far ahead Japan was in what a culture of what people do. Because remember, we thought that, at least I, growing up, thought, even outside of the joke of it, I was always like, what are you doing?
We also made fun of the uncle.
Why do you want to take a picture of everything?
We also made fun of the uncle who always wanted to film everything.
Yes.
We're all that uncle.
Yes. And now we're all that uncle, and we're all Japanese uncles. Hashtag we are all Japanese uncles. That is the truth. I remember just being like, why do you want to take all these pictures and carry this camera and all this stuff? And like, you look at it now, and I understand it's obviously way more convenient. But You don't sit around going, I wonder why they wanted to take all these pictures. And maybe it was other cultures too. I just know that growing up, and it wasn't just in movies and TV shows. You did see Japanese people taking tons of photos.
More part of their culture.
Yes.
To document.
And I was just thinking about that the other day where it's like, man, that is what we do now. And it's so crazy that we'd be like, okay, look at them taking all these photos. And now we're like, look at us taking all these photos. Literally, the whole world now does what Japan was doing 40 years ago. 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Think of the food we're going to start getting. Japan's food? I can't take us down that road. We won't come back. We won't come back.
We might go to it in the next letter.
Okay, guys. So an average U.S. citizen takes more photos than any other person nowadays.
That's right. We fucking dominated that.
But I want you to guess.
I don't know.
What would be with that attitude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be more. It could be more nothing.
That was our sergeant's undercover, and they are horrible.
I'm not
a cop.
I wouldn't know how to do that if I was a cop.
Dude.
Yeah, bud. I'm not a cop. I'm a normal citizen. No one asked. All right. Well, if anyone's thinking it.
All right.
How many photos per day does the average U.S. citizen take?
Well, I'm right. You have to factor in parents.
10.
I still want to come back to that with you.
I bet I'm way low.
I would say.
I was gonna say 20. But I guess I'm thinking about myself. That makes me feel better. I think this number is about to make me feel better about how many photos I take.
Screenshots don't count.
Do you mean just a photo or a selfie?
Take a photo.
Anything.
Well, a selfie is a photo.
It just says photos. So,
photos. Okay.
Yeah. I think the number of times you take your camera out on your phone.
10.
10? 10. 10?
10. But an aberrant 10?
10.
10?
This thing, I don't...
10?
There's something about that movement I don't like.
10?
I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad.
Is it going to be 10?
I'm bad.
I'll
go 20.
You said 20?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 20.2 photos per day.
Wow.
You were going to say 20, Rory.
I was going to say 20, but I really thought that was too much.
And then Asia Pacific follows the U.S. with 15 photos per day. So we're taking a lot of photos.
We're taking a lot.
What do you think we're even doing with them other than taking up memory and having to get higher iCloud accounts?
Can I say a quick American numbers thing?
Yes.
So I watched...
Our numbers are better.
I started digging into who... I just wanted to know, for reasons that don't matter, who sold the most albums.
Yeah.
And then they do this thing where they call it units because they start including singles. I wanted to know the whole fucking album.
Yeah.
Who sold the most. And I think I was looking at Elton John's in the top 5. It's like Elton John, Beatles, Elvis,
Michael Jackson, Thriller.
And so they break it down by country, right? So Elton John is like 260 million albums sold, which I think they were also including units, whatever. United States makes up 214 million of that. Oh, you know what it was? It was the Beatles.
Yeah.
They make up 214 million of the Beatles because I was like, what did the UK do?
Yeah.
And it's population size, right?
Obviously,
as well.
yes.
But I thought it blew me away that we carry that much. When people say when you as an actor or a musician or an artist of any level, once you break into the American market, they're not joking.
Right. Yeah.
It is.
That's the
we're
market.
buying.
It's the most buyer. Yeah.
We're buying.
Yeah.
Look
at the places where people talk about
214 out of the 260. 200. So every country combined doesn't even matter.
India, China,
the
United States. Speaking specifically of just a country, not like a continent.
Yeah.
But like China, India, and the United States. When you break into those 3 places, I mean, to break into one of them is crazy.
Yeah.
But to be like a Michael Jackson, where it's like, no, everyone around the world is fully aware. And then Europe as a whole, but literally we're talking about just individual countries. Like, that's truly insane. Those where those markets are. Those are the highest populations. India now has the highest population, I think, over China. They just got more, they just tallied, I don't know, tallied, is that the right word?
Yeah.
More people than China is now India at a certain billion. I don't know. I read it in a meme.
I believe you.
That's where I get my news.
I love reading a good meme.
I get all my news from memes.
God. Just sit back with a meme and just.
I'm not gonna lie. I do really like memes. I think memes is some of the.
It's a type of humor.
It's a type of humor, and those like creators, whoever they are, of a really good meme, I would love to know if they could like where their lives are at in a script, because I'm like, man, you really get a joke.
Yeah. Can
you get story? And if so.
There's also this.
How are you not just known to everybody? But in that meme world, it's the world we live in now. They're probably like, well, I actually make more money doing memes than I would ever get winning an Oscar. You're like, oh, all right.
There's also this new trend of comedy that I don't think it's necessarily a meme because it's never attached to any sort of image or anything.
Yeah.
And it's like this. I would be surprised if you've seen it, and I don't know if you have or not. It's like sex positive comedy. It primarily lives on Twitter. There's a Instagram accounts that do it too. And they'll do things like, sure he loves you, but will he watch you eat 2 Big Macs?
Yeah.
Or like, no, I don't ever want to have sex again. Come over. Like it's sex positive comedy, and it is so funny and so smart and so also like agency and all that stuff. And it's this new type, and these people are so specifically good at it. And I don't know that they could ever go on stage and tell a joke.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I wonder. That's what I want to know. Like, what are the other mediums would you like thrive at?
Question.
I have one quick thing.
Okay, you do. I have a question for you too.
What I love about this letter is my daughter, who is going to be 8 soon, her entire life is on video and picture. Imagine when you say like, oh, how many pictures have been taken of me? My daughter could go and sit down, if I had the gumption to put it all together. I could put together a montage that is so long, and she could see
her progression
very close to almost every day of her life. And I've been fascinated by that idea, but I'm also wondering, is that psychologically damaging, or is that enthralling to be like, oh, I saw myself become myself? There's no gray area. I got to see it. Or are our brains meant to have the gray area?
We are.
So then you don't want to.
But I don't know if it hurts you to be able to see it. But I know that one of the greatest benefits we have as humans is our ability to forget.
Yeah.
And there was a woman who I don't want to say suffers, has that condition where she can remember every date and everything.
Yes.
And so her husband passed away. I might have said this once on the show before.
Yeah.
Her husband passed away, and she said, people were like, oh, isn't that so great? You can remember everything well. And she goes, it's a curse.
Right.
Because every day I still can, if I can remember that it feels like he died this morning.
Yes. Yeah.
And so to have distance, and it's different, like how you're saying, is that beneficial or not? To be able to go, oh, that was around the time I chose to do this instead of that.
Well, in this case, you wouldn't remember it. In this case, it would be.
But it would it could jog it, though.
It could, but it would just be seeing it. Yeah. Like, there is something interesting to be able to like see, like going back and looking.
Do you want
at
your
myself,
whole life to flash before your eyes?
I can see myself at 7 years old. I can go play a video and hear it. In the world of VHS cameras, not film, but like
it's a
VHS,
glimpse.
It's a glimpse.
She's getting.
But literally, if someone said, "Remember this? This is when you were 7 years old at your baseball game," and you go, "Oh my God, that's so crazy," and they go, "This is the next day." Then this is the next day. This is what happened the next 3 days after that because we didn't do anything. This is and you just go, oh wait, sorry, you have that whole month? You have that whole month on video? And they go, yeah, I've got videos and I got pictures. You could see everything that happened that whole month. That's what I wonder.
Do you know what the other side of that is, Rory? And you haven't, and I love it for you, haven't experienced much of this. Relationships.
Yeah.
You have
I've never experienced one.
No, but once it ends, the heartbreak, you have all these photos, all these videos.
It's crazy.
And I mean loving days in the park and sexual ones. You can revisit that intimacy. But I mean the heartbreaking part of it, like that person doesn't want to kiss you anymore.
Dark
that person
porn.
doesn't. Yes.
Dark
in your heart.
Yeah.
But like you could watch.
It's bizarre.
There's TikToks of people who show the chronological order of a relationship blooming and dying via screenshots of their text messages.
Yeah, yeah.
So it also to sometimes in those areas to look back, I think that can be very you have to let it go.
Yeah.
You have to disassociate somehow.
Yeah.
Question I have for you, and then we'll get out of here. How many pictures do you think you have on your phone of your daughter?
I have no idea. It is so many.
But you haven't got to a point where you create a Elliot hard drive?
Could be like 90% of the videos and pictures.
Wow.
I mean, it's constantly.
And when you go to have to clean things out, do you not delete?
I don't even know. Like, I don't know how my phone even works.
You probably have to get.
I have a lot of iCloud, but I don't know that it's working.
But don't you think you probably will? She's only 8. You probably will have to get an external hard drive of just.
I mean,
Elliot,
I have
or
2 terabytes in the iCloud.
Okay.
But my phone will still go. There's no room for anything, and I'm like, I don't understand. How do I have this iCloud?
You really are in a conundrum.
I don't know how to
doing
do
a bit.
I got to go to Apple.
If you guessed, would you put it at 10,000?
I mean, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, she's 8. Almost.
Right. So 365 times 8.
Times 8.
I don't know.
And then maybe, well, as Lisa said, 20.2 pictures.
300 times 8 is 300 times 8 is 24,000, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's insane. I'm never going to do this math. Vince, we wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel.
And Daniel Van Kirk.
And we are back.
The Barbershop Quartet.
So clearly been at Disneyland.
Did you see the Barbershop Quartet?
You know, they had the
Do you remember when you hung up on me?
They're walking around. Yeah, because we ran into Jasmine and Aladdin.
There's Aladdin and Jasmine. I got to go. There's Aladdin.
I got to go. There's Aladdin and Jasmine.
We just saw them.
It was also funny because Elliot goes, I want to see Aladdin and Jasmine. And I go, look, they're there right there. They could literally, look, they're there.
You ride Little Mermaid?
We did.
Love Little Mermaid.
It's all right.
How many miles we walked?
23 miles, something like that, 22, 23 miles.
Any pain? I mean, you've got D1 legs, so you're probably fine.
D1 legs. It was insane. It's so insane, the amount of walking.
Did you enjoy? It wasn't super hot, right?
No, it's great.
Yeah.
It was like a little drizzle to start the last day, and then it was nothing. It was great.
Awesome.
Perfect weather. Plugs and hugs. A couple things. Quick plug. RoryScovel.com. All the dates that needed to get changed have now been...
You found a home?
Changed. So, I don't know them off the top of my head, but Dallas, San Antonio is going to be in November. Seattle is going to be August 27th. Portland and Vancouver also moved. The Michigan dates, Pontiac, Grand Rapids, Dayton, Ohio. God, don't accidentally say Daytona. Whew, fires people off.
Really?
Dayton. Daytona is better than Dayton, and I hate them both. There. Does that feel good? You fuck me. I get so mad. No, Dayton, which I have never played. I'm excited to play. Dayton, Indianapolis, and I had another one. I can't remember. Oh, Fort Wayne. All those have been moved. Go to RoryScovel.com and you'll find them. That's what I got. August 2nd, physical, season 3, third and final season. Do me a favor. Watch them all. It's a good show.
I agree.
And Apple notices when you go back and watch them all.
And for me, DanielVanKirk.com. There's some real fun stuff happening because of the writer's strike and solidarity through SAG. I'll be I can't work in that way. So I'm going to be doing live shows. I'll be at High Plains, and I'm going to be at Cap City in December, and I have other stuff I'm announcing. Plus, I'll be doing some other stuff to maybe like digital things. I don't know. We'll see. Go to DanielVanKirk.com. But very importantly,
yes,
we have a birthday coming up.
That's right.
We are still planning to do
5 years.
You got the movie. Everything's moved. We're still planning.
Flux.
We're still planning. We walk onto a stage and we'll have a great time.
Hashtag subject to change. We'll never do it.
But regardless of that, we have a birthday episode.
We do have a birthday episode.
We do have.
It has never not happened.
Happening.
That has never not happened.
This has never not happened.
Yeah.
I love never not happening with
Tell them about
Jimmy
Fargo.
Tell them what we're gonna do. On the 6th, on July 6th at 5 p.m. LA time. That's 7 p.m. Rochelle, Illinois time, and 8 p.m. Greenville time. We will be streaming. We did this once before. Everything will be up at. It's an Eventbrite link. I'd imagine you'll get it to put on yours. It'll be on mine.
It'll get posted.
Yeah, it'll be on our link trees and all that shit as well. It'll be a streaming of a live episode. So it's not going to be the live show. We're saving that live show for when we get to come out and see all you guys. But you will be able to join in and watch us record what will be a great birthday episode. And I can't tell you that Michael Keaton won't be there.
And I can't tell you that he will.
Exactly.
And that's
so
the show, really.
But it's definitely going to be our birthday. So that's July 6th, 7 p.m., Rochelle, Illinois time. Go to RoryScovel.com or DanielVanKirk.com for that. Should we do another one?
Let's go to this letter. You got it.
I always watch you for the highs and the lows.
Watch me for the highs and lows.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Rory.
Yeah.
I think it got handed to you.
No.
Parentheses. It got mailed and found. It just found its
parentheses extra Daniel.
No, plus.
All of the plus Daniel.
Yeah,
if you it's in parentheses. You know, it's more of a math equation.
You want to make it great.
Doesn't that look like a math equation?
Could you do those?
Of course I could.
I don't even know. I don't think I made it to algebra 2.
But
I remember it's inside out, right? When doing those.
Did you see algebra 3?
Is it good?
It's good if you've seen algebra 2. Then you know what's going on.
Billy Binomial?
Okay.
You don't remember? That wasn't a thing in your curriculum? That's how they taught us that stuff.
No.
Okay.
Or maybe it was. I was bad at every subject possible.
This in contention for shortest letter we've ever gotten.
Okay.
It's not a contest.
It is. Can be.
Pals.
That's it.
Cereal, soup. As oatmeal, chili? ?
Yeah.
Nicki. Bing, long, bing.
Now I see why the envelope was a math equation.
Right, because this is a riddle?
Because this is a riddle-y math equation.
This is actually on a Hallmark card.
Here's what I want to say.
That's weird.
I think that I agree with that. If we're going to say in the world of cereal, is cereal soup and oatmeal is chili? That's what it's asking?
Yes.
I would say yes.
I think it's doing one of those soup. This is like a ACT
cereal
question.
Is to soup what oatmeal is to chili.
Right.
And I agree.
But you'd have to fill in the blank. I wonder if you if somebody would have gotten that. Pen pals, ask someone, go, cereal is to soup as oatmeal is to, they'd be able to finish it, right?
Cereal is to soup as French toast is to what? The clock is ticking. You have roughly 18 more minutes. So what do you think?
Cereal is to soup. You have one in your head?
No, it's just that.
You son of a bitch.
I tried to think of another breakfast item. But I thought we could come up with one that's pretty good.
For French toast?
Well, if cereal is soup, French toast is, so it's bread, it's eggs, milk. It is a...
Monte Cristo?
No, I feel like it's got to be...
It's got to be a bread?
Well, like, what's a fun lunch, right? Like, what's a fun lunch?
So you're going
thing?
For the
That's what I think it's got to be,
of it.
Right?
But these work because of the... We are agreeing that these work because of the mix, the texture.
Oatmeal is a chili.
Thank you so much.
But French toast would be...
Mozzarella sticks?
Yeah, so now we're in the... All right, here we go. Yeah, if we're doing French toast sticks.
Or monkey bread.
Monkey bread. No, I think I like mozzarella sticks better. Yeah. If it's like French toast sticks. Yeah, God, that's a tough one. What's another cereal is to soup as...
So I would say...
Like pancakes, waffles...
breakfast fruit bowl. Cereal is to soup as breakfast fruit bowl is to... I have one in my head.
What is it?
Oh, I thought you wanted to guess.
Breakfast fruit bowl is to...
Think of
salad.
Oh, that's not bad, but not where I was going. But that work. I would say that also works. Chips and salsa. I felt like because people can like pick at it.
If you have a little bit of a dip. Some people do a dip and it just ruins it. They're like, I got a frosting dip. Like, with your fruit.
There's nothing like breakfast that's similar to the pancake for the table could be chips and salsa.
Yeah.
Pancake for the table. Yes. That's how you do that. Soup is to cereal as pancake for the table is to
chips and salsa.
Right? 100%. Lissa agrees.
Lissa agrees.
The amount of validation she has to do for us on any single episode.
And then that's what she does disagree with. She's like, I don't think so. And it just topples the whole house of cards.
And thank you again.
You're welcome.
Got us breakfast Sammy's.
Oh,
I know.
Those are good biscuits.
Those are not like most biscuits.
What's your last? It's your last meal, but it's got to be breakfast.
That's
what are you gonna go with?
I don't really like breakfast.
Is that true?
Yeah.
For a man who loves diners.
I know.
What are you always doing at the diner other than pie? What are you doing at the diner?
Steak fries. Give me a good a club.
Okay.
Or open-faced turkey sandwich.
Not into that.
Really?
A club.
I like a good beef stew in a diner.
Wow.
Definitely, obviously, root beer. It's not really food, but
Yeah.
yeah, I tend to go more towards like a sandwich, or if they've got a good diner burger.
Yeah.
And then I love a good steak fry and like a chicken and rice soup. It's always wonderful at a diner.
Man. Tuna melt.
So yeah.
So I would go tuna melt. I think I always have to go with
Breakfast.
No, but I think I always do. If I am gonna get in the world of like sandwiches, I feel like a diner. I gotta go like a club or a cheeseburger, or if there's a meatloaf that's they're known
I
for.
never fuck with a meatloaf.
Really?
I don't
What
enjoy
about a meatloaf sandwich
when it's overly onioned.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
that's a hurdle for me.
Okay.
Are you an onion rings guy?
I can be talked into it. It's not.
But you're not
good
the
for
guy.
you. I'm not. I'm not the initiator. Probably.
Do you like a fried mushroom?
Yeah. I'm not gonna order it, but I'll help out.
These are just like
I'll chip in.
staples of Wisconsin dining.
Yeah. I mean, I've had fried mushroom. I mean, honestly, you fry anything, it's gonna be fine.
What's your favorite we're at a bar app? The mozzarella stick?
Mozzarella stick, nachos, depending on what we're talking about.
How come
I love nachos.
How come if I go to every baseball park, I will do this.
All right.
Every baseball park gets to make up their own fucking rigmarole idea on how they want this field to be. It's one of the crazy things about baseball is they're like, hey, here, it's 485 feet to hit a home run. Over here, 17 feet, home run. Do you remember that in Houston, in center field, they used to have a hill?
Yeah.
A fucking hill.
Yeah.
So, but forgetting all that, every baseball stadium, you know what you're getting when you order nachos.
Yeah.
And for some reason, restaurants are just dug in on baking this cheese that you have to rip apart. How come I can't get my ballpark nachos at a fucking restaurant?
Yeah.
I want to dip, or I want it to be drizzled and just easy to pull apart.
Here's what I can't. Go for it.
Have you had Guy Fieri's trash can nachos?
Is that how you're supposed to say it? Fieri?
Fieri, yeah.
Fieri?
Yeah,
Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
Fieri. Are you using a T? Fieri.
Almost, yeah.
Fieri. Fieri. Guy Fieri.
No, but they're bonded together because of the cheese. This is still my problem, though.
Hit the trash can nachos. I cannot.
Bronger made them.
Where do you get them?
At most of his restaurants, I think.
Okay.
Bronger made them. He did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
he posted
and
about it.
they come out in a cylindrical. There's like a cylindrical
whole
can, and they
performance.
lift it up, and then all the stuff just dumps out, and it's ooey and gooey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best.
Oh, but the ones I saw didn't dump. That's what I felt like. I felt like they glued it together by baking cheese.
Oh.
You had a fall
Now
down?
that makes more sense.
I'm
they
into
would
that.
Come
I'm
out like
into that.
trash.
They were so gooey at his restaurant at the Rio, and they would bring them full size. Yeah.
Her name is Rio, and she dances on the sun.
Love it.
Nobody?
That was good. I appreciated it.
I know. I thought we'd all jump in.
Oh, I don't know the next part.
I don't either. That's why I was hoping someone would jump in.
My friend's show was at the Rio.
Okay.
But anyway,
Ooh,
they
her
bring
show
it
was at
full
the
size.
Rio. I keep.
Everything. I can't win. Anyway.
Oh, that's why the nachos were trashy.
Guy Fieri's. I hate this that you are both doing.
I don't have a string. I have to do it somehow. He's got
Yeah.
a string.
Yeah. You're going to bite a hole in your shirt.
Anyway, they're delicious. They're the best nachos.
Here's what I can't understand. You're doing the nachos. Does it not make sense to go, here's some nachos, fix them up. Nachos, fix them. Chips, fix them up. When people do, here's a bunch of chips, and here's stuff we put on the top, so that once
Everything
you've kind of
down
eaten
here.
the top layer, you just have
Once
empty.
you eat the roof, you're just in a basement.
And you're like, what? Who's in the kitchen going, well, I don't really want to work out. Do you like this? Like, if you own a restaurant, like, for instance,
I know.
if you come see me do stand-up, rest assured the jokes I'm doing, I want to hear. I like them. If I own a restaurant, that's the food I want to eat. That's the food I want to make. It's a level of pride over just pushing something out that you're going to charge people for. You want to overcharge people? Fine, but give them something. Like, give them
Or, do you know how many times they can't turn off the fucking TV after the game's over?
Yeah.
And you're sitting here being like, I don't need to watch this news.
I don't need to watch the local news at the bar with the sound on.
Right.
And it doesn't clue in.
No. It was a running joke when I
Turn
worked
the music down.
When I worked at Cubby Bear, they would forget to do it after the Cubs game. You can imagine tons of TVs. We're across the street from Wrigley. Every TV's on the Cubs game.
Yeah.
They would always forget. And then at some point, people would start just stopping and watching because it was always Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
On every TV.
Exactly.
And I'm like, turn this off.
Also,
so what I'm
here's
saying
the
is,
thing I don't understand. I get if you go to, there's some restaurants now that just have TVs. And I'm like,
what do you mean?
Like if you go to a bar, sports bar,
you expect
and they have a ton of TVs, you're like, that's the vibe. Some restaurants and bars have these TVs, and you're like, is that like you've decided
adult screen time.
the aesthetic?
It's adult screen time at dinner,
which is insane to me.
Yeah,
it's like I would save my money on the TVs. I would have one if I'm so inclined to have one at the bar that always has the thing on that should be the thing,
and then off,
and it's often going to be sports related,
and then off.
It just is, and then off. I can't understand it when some of these restaurants are like, "Oh, you didn't want to just watch," and I'm only going off what I've seen. Oh, you didn't want to watch Fox News
or MSNBC,
even if you like Fox News.
That's what I'm saying.
Are you literally at? I was in Atlanta and I went to get Chinese food, and there's Fox News showing me Kevin McCarthy giving his take on not raising the debt ceiling, and then Biden telling me why he thinks it needs to be raised. Right. And I'm like, I don't care whose side you're on.
I just want to eat dinner.
We're just at a restaurant.
Right. Like, there's a great
why
restaurant.
Are there any TVs?
There's a great Thai restaurant in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard called Palms Thai.
Yeah.
And it's one huge room. There's no wall. It's one huge great room, right? And there's a TV
I like that.
by the bar, which I can understand.
Yeah.
You know, if you sat at the bar or whatever, there's a TV there, and you can see it from anywhere in the room.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the room is one, maybe two more TVs.
Yeah.
With always the wildest shit on. One will be on news, another one will be on Survivor, another one will like be on like Home Shopping Network or whatever. And and it's like, I think you could turn these off. Your food is so good. Your place is great. There's a lot of times there was a musician playing.
Yeah. Like, I have some. And I could be wildly off base here.
I doubt it.
And someone could say, Rory, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm going to say right now, you might be right. There's a chance you might be right. And I might be speaking out of turn here.
Yeah.
But you've been to the Dresden, right?
I love it.
And there isn't a TV in the place.
Nope.
Half side is an old school restaurant. The other side is an old school bar.
Yeah.
They have
Lounge.
no longer because Marty passed away. I don't know if they both passed away, but the two musical performers that were there often would have people come and sing with them, even people from the audience. It was like sort of a glorified, I mean, in a good way, a glorified karaoke.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It created an ambiance. It was a lounge. It was a cool vibe. Now, granted, that's what they were going for.
Sure.
But that loungy, cool vibe was so great. You oftentimes couldn't really get in there, I don't know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like, it was really tough to get in there. And, like, you know, there was just no space because it was such a welcoming, inviting place. I think there's more people that want that. More so than they want your Buffalo Wild Wings. Nothing against Buffalo Wild Wings. I'll go there right now.
Me too.
But when you throw all those around all over the country and you fill them with like the TVs and you go, no, look, we're doing great. It's like, yeah, because some of these places don't have the place where actually the majority might go there. They might actually be like, nah, I kind of would love a hip, cool lounge that plays like
there was a
great
bar.
music.
It used to be a bar in New York called Nowhere Bar. Had no TV, and I was like, what a great little.
I'm not here. I'm
a TV guy.
That is not for everybody. There's someone going, Buffalo Wild Wings is my absolute favorite place to be, and I'm not here to say that it shouldn't be because my favorite thing is not your favorite thing.
Sure,
and that's fine. But I'm just saying, rarely is there the case of like, you know, when you go on the road, I'm always asking people like, what is like the bar that's not crazy crowded but has character and is local and is like a vibe? What is the coffee shop that isn't Starbucks? It's like just something else that's local and it's owned and run by people who live in this space. Like I'm just all for that. And I think a lot of places like your offshoots of a Buffalo Wild Wings, I think they go, well, no, look at the numbers here. This is what people want. Mm-hmm. And I think people, they just go with what you give them. Like when people say, look, this is what TV shows are. I think people will watch what you give them to watch. Yeah. So I think if you were to say, oh, there's more Dresdens around the country, you might find that they're packed a lot of times. Because if you put me in a city where you say, look, there's not a lot to do. A lot of us go to, I don't know, I'm giving Buffalo Wild Wings a hard time, but a lot of us go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Then I go, great, then that's where we'll go. Let's go have a beer. Let's go have some wings. It's great. I'll enjoy it. It's fine.
Yep. Same.
But some people might say that because that's the spot to go to, because there isn't like some other spot, because people are certain like, well, if you make this niche thing, you might not get a lot of people there. But I think the thing that you think is niche is maybe not so niche. It just doesn't exist to where you can see a majority might actually want to go to a cool, vibey lounge kind of spot.
Right.
And again, I could be wildly off base, but I think a lot of people do want that culture.
But to go back to your point, kind of that is somebody who's created a space, a lounge, a bar, whatever, maybe even a nightclub, and they don't have TVs, right? That is where they would want to go.
Yeah.
And I think that it's hard, certainly if you own multiple, but you got to go in and make sure they're still doing the nachos the way you would want to eat them. Do you know how many times I walk into
I wondered if we get back to the path.
Do you know how many times? Together, we always do. Do you know how many times I've walked into a restaurant, and I've done it before, but I try not to. I usually just leave, where I go, you guys didn't realize you still have your, like, cleaning lights on?
Yeah.
Just the light. That's my number one.
But here's lighting, and some people might be like, I don't really care, just bring me the food. Like, I understand that.
But they don't know that their food is better if the lighting's better. Their food is better. It's a visual medium as well.
I can go home and access food. Like, when I go to a restaurant, it isn't just because I don't want to make some food that night.
Right.
It's because I do want the experience as well. Right. So when you walk in and the lights are crazy, or there's TVs all over the place, it's not that I'm like highfalutin. Like, I want things to be the way I want. I just think, and I think what Daniel's saying here too, in case anyone doesn't understand this perspective, but it is clearly just stating some of these places could be amazing. You maybe don't need a TV everywhere. Now, sometimes do I want a TV at a bar? Yeah, that's what I'm going there for, and I like it, and it's great. And sometimes I don't mind if it's actually Sports Center or something. You know what I mean?
No.
I don't know why it would be anything other than sports, but whatever.
Oh, dude, no. Chive, people failing video.
I know.
Like
that's
channel
I
that's like,
hate that.
I only like the ones that are successful. I went into a restaurant recently.
It feels like you're just watching a TikTok.
You know what they had on?
Yeah.
MMA. Now, I've been a fan of MMA since like the early 2000s.
When it was
You've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I couldn't think of one.
I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't have a problem with people fighting. Yeah. But I was eating and looking up at a man's face getting caved in.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't understand that someone in the restaurant wouldn't go, I love MMA. But this probably isn't the best thing to have
time
on
and place.
Yes.
Yeah.
While people are eating. Now, I'm not saying everybody would care.
Yeah.
But the people who don't care also don't care if you turn it to
exactly
golf.
Exactly.
Or Sports Center.
People rarely care.
Rarely care.
They rarely. The only time you see someone get up to go, can you change it? Is like, well, it's the playoffs. It's game 4. And you're like, and they're right.
And I asked for that TV because
you're right.
Because it was Heat Celtics at the time that it happened.
But you're also absolutely right. It's game 4. Shouldn't that be on? They're like, yeah, I guess. Oh, you don't want to watch the fishing tournament? No, it's not. It's not as timely.
It always blows me away in a sports bar too when you'll go when it is the biggest thing happens, like a game 7 of some playoff or championship or whatever, and you'll go, is it cool if we put on the Cubs game? And they'll go, what channel is it on? Did it start? And I go, I want to say, I'm here. I chose to come in here. You work here, and you are at a sports bar.
Yeah, you're a sports bar.
Or you're a bar that does make money off of people coming in to watch games.
Sports.
Sure.
Yes.
It, just so you know, it benefits you way more than it benefits me to know this information.
Yes.
Because some people are going to walk by and go, do they have the game on? Fuck it.
Yeah.
And keep going. Or they're going to come in, realize you don't have the game on, and not want to bother you or ask you, and just leave.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Crazy. Bacon updates.
You close us out. Nicki.
Bacon updates.
Great letter. Simple, to the point.
I agree. Little, pink.
Yellow.
Different.
Pink.
Nicki, thanks for sending this in. Cereal is to soup as awesome as to you. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals. It's like you watched a kid do a cartwheel that you didn't think would get around. Sincerely, your pen pals. We wish you well. I did that all weird.
Just do it.
Oh my
Just
God.
say
We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals. Rory Scovel. Damn it.
Daniel Vaniel Caniel.
Oh, you. Top 10 reasons.
Top 10.